Life Advancement Center. I'm Kim Stanwood, Terranova. It's a beautiful Saturday. It's a gorgeous day, and I have a beautiful being right here with me today. So we have a doctor in the house. I just had to say that because Dr. Beth from Sedona is here with us. She's been here with us all week, and I think she's had a brilliantly transformative week that I would like her to share with you. So welcome and welcome.
Hi, everybody.
And yes, we want to hear. How are you?
This has been amazing. It's funny because I've thought of Rhythmia as Rhythmia, that destination. And when you drive in and you read Rhythmia Life Transformation Center, you don't really understand that moment that you pull up, how your life is about to be transformed. And not just for me, but for me witnessing these beautiful 60 or 70 souls who have been selected to be here this week. Seeing the heaviness and the weight on so many people's souls, including my own, showing up, and every day it's just like a layer of that onion peels off and it peels off and it peels off, to today when all of a sudden here it is, it's Saturday and everybody's, half the people are on their way home, and some of us, I'm actually glad I came on a Sunday, because I got today just to kind of simmer in it.
Yes, so
before travel. But it's nothing of what I expected and so much more.
I love that. And I love how you point to, no one really knows the transformation, the depth of the transformation that's going to occur when you're at Rhythmia. You come in the gate and a whole new world begins. So I have to ask you, did you see your transformation right away?
It's been a process. It was, there's been a lot of steps along the way for me in particular, where I had a lot of trouble letting go. As a surgeon, it's not easy because the first day I hear, listen, you're allowed to make mistakes and you just have to accept them. And I'm thinking,
interesting.
As a surgeon, I am not allowed to make mistakes. You go into the operating room with intentionality and you do the very best thing you can, because you don't get a do-over. You don't get a second chance to make an incision.
So profound.
And so as I was listening to these lessons, and a lot of this had to do with like things that happened in childhood where, we didn't think we could make mistakes, or we made mistakes, but had some kind of a backlash or a retribution for it. And, 35 years as a surgeon, I've built a lot of layers around me. And I didn't learn this until later on in the week when Dr. Jeff, God love him, started talking about, why it's so hard for empaths to be able to potentially, sit in the medicine and sit in the ayahuasca and have that experience, because we've built so many layers around ourselves. And, as he's sitting there talking about empaths, I'm watching my friends who are also empaths in the room tearing up because nobody got in my face about that before. And
Dr. Jeff is good at
I love him. No, I didn't realize how hard it was going to be for me to live in the medicine. I have been studying, I think I shared with you, I'm being trained in psychedelic therapy, California Institute of Integral Studies and MAPS.
Beautiful.
It's been a calling for me because it's that deep soul healing. But I've read all the papers on ayahuasca. I know the science, I know the data, I know the pharmacokinetics, I know the pharmacology. And I came and said, I'm going to drink this. And I'm not someone that typically gets nauseous or throws up. So I thought, I'm going to be one of those people, just going to go in, have my medicine, get my IMAX, have a consult with my mom who passed over this year. And what you taught me was, with expectation, there's a room for disappointment, because if you don't get what you set that expectation for. And so there was a whole reframing of all of this for me, away from expectation and just into surrender and acceptance of what the experience was, and then learning through this process. And it's taught me so much about myself. I mean, I can't even, I look in the mirror now and I go, wow, you were holding on to a lot of stuff for a lot of years, because as an empath, you take people's energy in. And I had always thought that I was really good at helping my patients to heal, but keeping that distance and not wearing their pain and suffering.
Right.
But what it showed me this week is I was wearing a lot of pain and suffering. I had brought a lot to the table, and it's just, I originally wanted to come to Rhythmia in March of 2020. My husband couldn't get off work. We couldn't do it.
I would have been here with you,
And
but everything changed.
I know. And I realize now I really had to wait until now to come because I resigned from a 35-year career in surgery. And I'm kind of saying right now I'm on sabbatical because I don't know. I did ask, Pachamama that question, but I didn't get the answer yet. So there's still some more work to do. But
so good, that there's still work to do.
I wanted to ask the question: Am I still supposed to be doing surgery? Because I'm a damn good surgeon. I've got great hands in the OR. I love what I did, but I was doing it in a way that was not continuing to honor who I was because I had become a technician. I had become so busy and was doing so many surgeries, and that level of focus takes its toll on the human body.
Yes,
and it takes its toll on your mental and emotional health. And I really needed to take a break this winter to allow me to heal. And so I'm not, that chapter is not written yet. I don't know what's going to happen with that, but I know now that sabbatical that I chose to give myself allowed me these last 8 weeks to open up and prepare. And I realize now that if I had prepared with the intention with my meditation and really had that focus, I think I would have been able to let go more. With the medicine.
Would have prepared before you got here,
yes,
even more. So that's a really good.
So if you're coming here, I'm going to tell you, practice the meditation, practice your yoga, practice your breath, because you get the most out of it. And
can I add to that?
Go.
Because I love practice.
Yes.
So any practice that we could put into place regularly, daily, gives us the spiritual strength to move through everything in life. So what Beth is pointing to, or whatever you can really get into motion even before you arrive, then your container is even more willing, was what I'm hearing you say.
Correct.
To stand in acceptance of the medicine, the depth of it, and peel those layers off to really have you experience what you came here to experience.
And it was also great because there were 3 other physicians that I met this week here. And all of them had said that they all had that same difficulty, which, it's not, I don't feel like a failure because I didn't have those experiences. But when you're hearing the shares every day and you're listening to people's breakthroughs and they're in the IMAX and they're talking to God and they're with their loved ones, but sharing in that depth of healing in them also heals us. Yes. It heals me. It heals everyone around you. And it was a phenomenal week. There were some moments which, my final day of ceremony, Yahe, she kicked my butt to the point that I literally could not get off my bed. I was so depleted, but it was part of what I needed to have. I needed to have that complete and total surrender because I spent all my life in control. I spent all my life
up until now.
Thank you very much for that. I spent all my life up until now with that need to control those situations. And this letting go, there was a freedom to letting go that you can't, it's goosebumpy. It's goosebumpy freedom because I now know that I have set intentions and I am creating a new path forward where I'm going to allow those things in my life that honor me to come in.
Yes.
And I can, cultivate them and nurture them. And through intentionality and just the practices that are taught here.
Speak about those. We love that.
So everybody,
because in all different classes,
a lot of people come here and think it's just the ayahuasca. And Mother Ayahuasca is amazing, and the plant medicine is absolutely important. But even if I had come here and just done the classwork,
right, and
not done the plant medicine, I would still be leaving a different person.
Oh, that was so good to hear. Thank you.
And I think I told you, I specifically planned out my life to be here with Michael Beckwith on January 7th, because that's how that is what my life used to be like. And I got COVID between Christmas and New Year's and had to cancel that trip and then rescheduled now.
So she got me.
And so I got you. So Michael Beckwith, if you're watching, she's freaking amazing, rock star. What you gave us in our classes this week, it's all us. It's all us. I mean, it's the answer's us. The answer's you. It's there. And going through this depth of growth in such a short period of time. It's a quantum healing. There is no other way to put this.
Beautiful way to say
This
it.
is quantum healing because we've unwound and gone back to a place of, really finding peace in our heart. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, but Beth, for you, a doctor, a surgeon, for your entire life to say this is quantum healing says so much about the expansion of healing and how you're viewing it now. You spoke to me about this outside, and I would just love for you to talk about that for a minute, because it's so precious and important of how Rhythmia fits in this divine timing right now of quantum healing, of what's possible in for humanity. So tell us where you're headed with your quantum healing.
So I've been on this path for, I would say, since the mid 90s. I got trained in Reiki, healing energy, IET. I did extra education nutrition. I did extra education, got board certified in integrative medicine. And what brought me to this place in my career where I recognized that the use of psychedelics and I'm going to call them entheogens, because I think it's a much more appropriate term, because the word psychedelic gets a stigma to it in our Western medical world. Entheogens are substances that help us to see better how our soul needs to heal, or what our soul needs to heal.
Could you say that part again? Helps us see better.
The entheogens allow us to be able to see what our soul needs to heal. And so whether it's psilocybin, or whether it's peyote or iboga or ayahuasca, these plants are rooted in the earth.
Yes.
They come from Pachamama. They come from Mother Earth. They come with a gift. They come with years and years and years and years of ceremonial lineage where they've been used to help heal. And, I don't believe that, in Colombia, they had a lot of, anxiety and depression 1,000 years ago. But I don't believe that they had it because they practiced with plant medicine.
Yeah.
They utilized the plants to be able to access and tap into a very, very deep sense of healing. And as a surgeon who has been in practice forever, it's at 8 weeks now, I haven't had a scalpel in my hand. My scalpel can cut out physical cancer, but the entheogens, the plant medicines, help to cut out the fear that the cancer brings. It helps to cut out the source of what brought on that process, because there are adverse childhood events. And what I learned this week too is those adverse childhood events, you don't have to have been beaten. You don't have to have been abused or raped or molested. It can be as much as a glance away of a parent.
Correct.
In that time when your brain is so vulnerable.
Yes.
And those childhood events help you to frame how you go ahead with the rest of your life.
Correct.
It's why I became a healer. It's why I became an empath. And I didn't have a bad childhood event that I could remember. But as the seventh of 7 children, I'm sure at some point in time, I might have needed something. I might have had a need that wasn't met. And I internalized that as, I'm not worthy. I wasn't worthy of the attention. And I don't know what that event was.
Right.
But I don't know that I need to know that event, because now I know part of how I got to be where I am. And I am very well loved by my patients. I am, but what I've found too is I've allowed all of that to come and kind of be coated on top of me. And so through this process and through my education in this spiritual realm of entheogenic medicine and psychedelics, I'm seeing this is a new dawn of healing. This is a time when our world can shift out of disease treatment, a pill for the ill, the model where that end symptom gets treated with something, and we're going back to a place of function where we go back and we heal the initial source.
But what you're saying is so vitally important right now.
This is the shift in healthcare.
Absolutely.
Shift happens. And I hope shift happens in healthcare, because our Western medical model was made with the greatest of intentions.
Correct.
It was the greatest of intentions. And listen, as a trauma surgeon, someone comes in with a ruptured spleen, my Western medicine, I could save that person.
Correct.
I could cut them open, take out the bleeding spleen, sew them back up. but their body knew how to heal. I didn't teach their
Correct.
body how to heal. I didn't
Mm.
teach those edges of the skin to come together
Right.
and to approximate, to put that person back together as a whole body.
But what you're pointing to that I'm so thrilled about as well is the importance of the inner healing, what we're calling the quantum healing, that is beyond the physical.
Right.
And so when you are addressing so brilliantly for your lifetime, assisting people to heal the physical, and now expanding to, let's also look at the other realm of the emotional depth that, as I'm hearing you say, caused elements of the physical. Like we could go hand in hand in our healing. It doesn't have to be one or the other, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
And this is where I feel now at this phase of my life, because I'm very well respected in the cancer community and as a breast surgeon nationally and internationally. I've traveled the globe teaching and speaking. And for me to be able to take what I've learned over my last 35 years, bring the knowledge and the wisdom
Mm-hmm.
that I have now,
Mm-hmm.
and bring these entheogenic experiences for patients into a place where we can have the prospective randomized clinical trials to be able to show Western medicine
Mm-hmm.
that, yes, we may still need the surgery and the chemo and the
Right,
radiation to
right.
treat the cancer, the physical
Yes.
cancer.
Right.
But if that's all we do, you know, we have addressed the seed of cancer. We've not addressed the soil of cancer. And the
Oh.
soil is something that needs to be cultivated. It
Yes.
needs to be tilled. It needs to be fertilized. And to go back to that place where these plant medicines are planted in the soil of the earth. And that soil of the earth brings them to us. And they're here, and they, you know, the rescheduling of these entheogens from you know, a class 1, which they are not addictive. These are not addictive medications. These are not addictive drugs. These are plant medicines that can help to affect a shift in the individual's energy. That's what the quantum shift is.
Yes.
That quantum healing comes from that shift that happens at a cellular level.
Yeah.
And to be able to see it and experience it, and to have done it here and now. And, you know, my husband Joe's here, you know, I shared it with
Yes.
him. This was a complete departure for
For
him,
him.
you know, so
He was willing.
well, I told all my friends, I said, I got my miracle before I got here because my husband said yes.
I love
And he
that.
said, I'm coming. I want to know what you're doing. I want to know how you're experiencing this. And, you know, he is not a fan of throwing up. It's not his favorite thing, you know. But to show up,
showed up to everything.
he showed up to everything, and
to
and
every
to everything.
class, every night.
Everything.
He showed up. You
And-
both did, fully
And the
present.
breath work for him,
Yes.
that first night, experiencing the breath work next to him, let me know how big this week would be.
I need to speak to that, because when you come on the weekends, we get to take you straight into breath work Friday, Saturday, Sunday night. And it's really planned out.
It's a gentle entrance
Yes.
into this world. And
Yes.
breath work is, it's interesting because I have a retreat set up for our young breast friends back in Pennsylvania in the spring. And when we had breath work on the agenda, it freaked a lot of people out. And they're like, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do this. And I said, if you trust me to treat you for your cancer, I would like you to trust me about the breath work.
Yes.
And they might be watching now because I don't get posted on my Facebook page, but
Trust her. Breath work is life changing.
we did breath work in 2018 with my retreat in Sedona, and 15 out of 15 women came out of that experience. And on a scale of 1 to 5, they said it was 1,000.
Yeah.
And they all said that it was the most transformational experience that they had had. And it doesn't involve taking any substances.
Right.
You are using your breath
Right.
to find your center. You're using your breath to guide you inward
Yes.
to the healing that is so profound. And it's something that, you know, Joe and Johnny connected over this because Johnny does breath work, and Johnny's one of the cool guys I met this week here. And
I just love the way you say that. Johnny's one of the cool guys I met.
he
Then there's
is.
this one. Then there's this.
But everybody came with a gift.
Yes.
And, you know, for Joe, I know that breath work will be one of his practices.
Yeah.
And that breath work aspect of, you know, this is holotropic breath work is part of what we learn in our psychedelic training class, because, you know, not everybody wants to take any kind of, even if it's a plant substance, you don't need to. And the breath work brings you into that place where you can begin to let go, and you can begin to let the barriers drop. And that's when the healing begins.
Okay, I could be here all day with you. This is like so.
I think I'll be back again.
You will be back again. So I want to bring us back to this. So many things that you're saying. I can't thank you enough. Is that the onion that was peeled off this week through breath work, through ceremony, through class time, through all of everything that was brought to you really shifted in your bringing that transformation for yourself, correct?
Yeah.
And now the beauty is everyone that you work with has even more of you.
Yep.
And that is what just lights me up to know that as everyone here is so courageous to come here and do the transformative work, then you go back home into your world and everyone is impacted because of your willingness to peel your onion here.
And I have more of me.
Yeah. Oh, yes, you do.
And the thing that I love so much about this work, and this has been very hard for a lot of people that have known me for years. So like, you were top of your field, like you were Philly top docs, you got all the, you make a great living, you're a wonderful surgeon. Why would you shift from what you're doing into this world? And the honest answer is that I've been doing this I've been adding things into my life, enhancing the way I practice medicine. And to me, until someone comes back into my office at their 18-month appointment or their 2-year appointment, and I feel that they are healed, my work isn't done.
Oh.
And about 40% of women, even after 2 years, are coming in living in fear. And I say their cancer can be physically cured.
Mm-hmm.
But if you sit in your kitchen with your lights off, waiting for cancer to come back, and you're allowing that fear to control your life, you are not healed. Mm-hmm. And with everything that I have learned up until this point, there's still a large percentage of women that aren't healing. Mm. And because of that, that has been my ignition. That's been my flame. It's been my inspiration to step out of my comfort zone, because, a lot of people that watch this are going to go, oh my God, Dupree did ayahuasca. What the hell? Like what happened to her? Like, and this is not, we talked about this morning, it's an amazing group of people that have been brought together. The world of psychedelic medicine is not a cult. Mm-hmm. This is it is a group of physicians, psychologists, therapists, religious leaders. Mm-hmm. It is an amazing group of individuals from all different aspects of healthcare and spirituality and healing, who all they've answered the call. They've answered that universal call to help be part of a transformational healing collective. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of different ways to get there. You can get there through the ayahuasca, through the MDMA, through lots of different entheogens, through breath work. But just the fact that all of these people are hearing this call, and that we are very, very close to the FDA recognizing the importance of these entheogenic experiences to help people with PTSD and depression. Because when you can, in one session, the studies have shown one session of psilocybin can be as effective as 6 months of Zoloft without having those other side effects of the medications that are treating a symptom, not the source. Right. And so that's what's exciting to me, because, if you had told me 2 years ago, I'd be sitting in a couch in Costa Rica talking about ayahuasca. I didn't know how to spell ayahuasca. I didn't even know that psilocybin was magic mushrooms. I didn't know that MDMA was ecstasy. Like, I was such a neophyte. I was like God tapped me on my shoulder. I was like, did you get the right person here? Because
but she said yes.
I showed up.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you
for your yes. You showed up, but you're also very willing to keep growing and to keep bringing more to the world.
I am a student, and I just am thrilled that I have teachers like you showing up in my life, and that I get to listen to your beautiful voice on your book on my way home. I've already downloaded you onto my cell phone.
With you. Thank you. And I'm going to see you back here. I know. Yes.
Absolutely.
Great.
And you should come too. If you're even thinking about it, you can do tons of research on the internet. Go on, watch the videos. My friend Jeff Hayes and Patrick Gentempo did an amazing docuseries called Psychedelics Revealed, which can, if you're interested, you can see and follow people through their Rhythmia journey. I already knew I was coming here before them, but that was like the double validation of, and I'm calling Jeff and Laura like, you guys, this is awesome.
I love the Rhythmia journey of quantum healing.
Yeah.
Please come to Rhythmia. and be here with me, Dr. Beth. Just know that there's so much healing happening, and your expression of it is divine. I am so grateful to you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, we have a love fest going on. Come and see us at Rhythmia soon. We bless you. Have a beautiful day.